Should children learn English early? There's evidence for and against learning English early. People who argue for an early start would think children learn better at their earlier age because the earlier the better. And they can pick up native accent at a very young age. And some immigrant studies show that children learning a second language from naturalistic environment possess higher proficiency than those who learn the language when they are adults. And children can pick up a second language fast at the beginning, even though the learning pace slows down later. But people who argue for a late start would pose evidences from older learners. They would say old learners are more mature and proficient in the language system. They can learn better. Old learners are also more mature cognitively. They can learn more efficiently and can remember better. Old learners can also learn better in class situation. We have no conclusive evidence for either side of the argument in the debate. But one thing we are quite sure is that very young children have their strength in mastering certain aspects of the language. It is true that they are sensitive to distinguishing sounds and has an advantage to pick up the native accent and intonation much better than adults. However, whether they are equally good in learning vocabulary or expressing ideas accurately in sentences or even pick up the abstract grammatical rules would very much depend on the environment they are in. Obviously, if children who are immersed in an ESL context, that is, a naturalistic environment, would pick up the language much more naturally than those who are in an EFL context. For children who learn a foreign language in an EFL context, where English is not readily available around them, they need appropriate pedagogies that caters for the specific developmental characteristics to help them to learn. Then, what are the young children's developmental characteristics as far as language learning is concerned? Moon suggests that children in an EFL context have very little motivation to learn a foreign language because that language is not used in their daily life. Children at very young age cannot rely on explicit language rules to learn the language forms, for example, spelling. Children at a very young age are still in the pre-operational stage. They lack the abstract reasoning skills and self-regulation ability to learn the language rules in a formal classroom setting. Instead, they need meaning-focused activities. They need to operate with concrete examples, objects. Most of all, children of young age need to learn through sensory experience. They need lots and lots of concrete examples from their daily life in order to help them understand the meaning of the language rather than just the form.